player becoming the fattest in NFL history, to the longest field goal of all time. This season, NFL players broke all kinds of crazy records. And first, an NFL player basically turned into a head coach to break a crazy record. Because when Keenan Allen was only one catch away from doing something historic, he invented the play for this?
With which they're trying to. That's a pop pass to Allen that sets the record for the most receptions in Chargers history.
At the end of the game, we up by a lot of points. I'm like, hey, we just do a speed sweep or something. Try to get this out the way, so we can just go ahead about the game plan. But I'm just glad that we was able to get it done.
Man made his own play just so he could break the record for most receptions in Chargers history. But Bijan Robinson broke 2 records in the same game. Here's the first.
Promising player. Here's Robinson, right side. Nice cutback. He's gone. Can anybody catch it? Not tonight. McCreary chasing. Won't get there. Touchdown Atlanta. 93 yards.
And after that 93-yarder broke the Falcons' record for the longest rushing touchdown in his team's history, Bijan broke another record when he also juked everyone and dominated so much that game that he had 190 yards after contact, aka the record for most yards after contact by any player since the stat was even created. But as hyped as he was, that record's nothing like one moment that ruined the craziest record of Travis Kelce's career. Cause even though Kelce's made catches like this over the years and it already gave him the record for most receptions and most yards in Chiefs history, he came into a game this season tied with a legend for the craziest Chiefs record of all time, the most touchdowns that any Chiefs player ever scored. So late in the game, Kelce finally got an opportunity to do something historic.
There's the pass. Caught, breaking the tackles, Kelce, and Travis takes it to the end zone. He sets the Chiefs' all-time touchdown record.
And as exciting as his franchise-leading 84 touchdown should have been, later in the game, his squad ended up giving up a last-second field goal to lose the game, so Kelce admitted his record-breaking night was ruined.
And it is an honor, man. Obviously, right now, it's sour because it's coming off of a loss.
But, alright, as mad as Swifty was, another NFL player was happy when he broke a record that was so crazy, it got his accessory put into a museum. That only happened this season because Cam Little did something nobody believed would ever be possible. Since 1932, when the NFL started recording stats, kickers have been kicking field goals from further and further away each year. And in 2021, when I watched Justin Tucker hit a 66-yard field goal, I never even thought that was possible, so no wonder that record held up for years. But Cam Little came into this year on a mission, and he didn't just make history once with a 67-yarder.
Cam Little, 67 yards!
That was the record for longest field goal ever, until not long after it got broke by himself.
Yards away, it's up there, it's out there, it's good from 68.
Yeah, and 68 yards wasn't just insane. Cam's jersey was instantly sent to the Hall of Fame's interactive museum because he wore it while kicking the longest field goal of all time. But alright, when Myles Garrett broke an even crazier record, it actually got him trolled by an NFL legend all season long. It seemed like this man was on a mission to sack every quarterback he came up against. I mean, just look at this chart showing a breakdown of every one of them. He even sacked Lamar Jackson 4 times and Drake May 5 times this year. But getting to quarterbacks that many times got him closer and closer to breaking the all-time record for sacks in a season. So eventually, he had the record tied at 22 sacks, but there was a problem. Myles only had 1 chance left to break the record in the last game of the season. And well, Myles did this.
First down. Burrow, he's under, and there it is! A record of a century has a new leader.
But alright, even though his teammates treated him like a king and even some NFL legends praised it, Michael Strahan, or the NFL legend that Myles took the record from, actually trolled him.
I mean, I hold the record for 16-game season. They hold the record for 17-game season. That's the way it works out.
Still claiming the title.
But you can't compare records from 12-game seasons to 16 and 17-game seasons. It doesn't work.
Alright, that kinda makes sense. But a broken record involving some trolling is one thing. The record that Dak Prescott broke involved Christmas? December 25th, 2025. It was a holiday game between the Cowboys and Commanders.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals!
And when the Cowboys got their bells jingled all the way back into their own end zone, Dak had no choice but to do something historic.
Step, throw, flag down, and caught in stride.
86-yard bomb, and all because that throw broke the record for the longest touchdown in NFL Christmas Day history. It not only had the NFL themselves posting the clip saying Dak the Halls, it had Netflix and plenty of other fans all talking about it. But when it came to Justin Jefferson, he broke a crazier record that was originally set by arguably the most legendary receiver of all time. This season, Jefferson did something to put him above a player known as the best receiver in Vikings history, Randy Moss. When Randy set the record, he was unguardable during his time, catching everything, and even just jumping over people created a term that we still use to this day, mossing someone. Making all kinds of crazy catches like those helped him break more records than I can count, including the most yards by any player through their first 6 seasons when he got 8,375. But as crazy as that was, once Jefferson entered the league, this man instantly started turning himself into one of the NFL's best receivers ever.
Cousins taking a deep shot. Jefferson's got separation, and he's got the catch.
It's 3rd down and 5. Good block by Reed downfield. He's got Jefferson.
Play action. Cousins going deep for Jefferson in the end zone. Touchdown.
Since his rookie season, he's been racking up ridiculous amounts of yards, from catches like this that won him an award.
SB goes to
Justin Jefferson with the catch of the century,
to the longest touchdown of his career that became a dream come true.
Darnold getting messy, going deep, and he's got Jefferson. He's got Jefferson.
I always dreamed of a 95 and up yarder touchdown.
But an even bigger dream came true this season when Jefferson not only entered the year close to beating Randy's record, he eventually made a catch during a game that became historic.
Today with so much on the line, all those turnovers. Rosemer going for it, and he's got it. Justin Jefferson for a first down.
And of course, Jefferson made an insane catch to put himself at 8,379 yards, surpassing Randy by 4 yards with a game still left in the season. So now, JJ was beyond thankful that he became the new record holder with the most yards by a player through their first 6 seasons.
Yeah, it definitely feels good. You know, it's always a dream to compete against the best, and then especially, you know, one of the faces of this franchise.
But alright, our record taking 6 seasons to break took way longer than another player's record this season that he broke in his very first game. See, Travis Hunter came into this season as the 2nd overall pick, who had just become the highest drafted cornerback in NFL history for a reason. It's because he's known as a very rare dual threat player who can shut things down on defense, and also dominate as a receiver. So during the first game of his career, Travis didn't just play 6 defensive snaps where he stopped receivers and even made tackles. He also lined up to help the offense, where he showed his shiftiness during all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 catches. Doing all of that was completely unheard of nowadays, because he became the first player in over 20 years to play at least 5 defensive snaps and get 5 catches in the same game. But technically, I could see a star like him doing that. I never, ever thought I'd see anyone break a record that was set by the GOAT. But hold on. Before we get to those and more, since I'm a YouTuber, not a chef, I'm like most of us and way too damn lazy to cook. Luckily, my life just got saved by Factor. This morning I heard a knock and opened my door to a care package from them, and unboxing this felt amazing because inside were some of my favorite meals. I mean, just look at this. Taco, tortellini, a couple different chicken, a burger, and more. Ooh, all fresh, not frozen. And listen, man, I ain't just get them to stack like this. I got them to snack. So let me throw one in real quick, and now let me try it. Always good. Now honestly, the only thought that even went into this was literally picking the food I wanted, so that's just one reason I love Factor. I also love them because they got 100+ rotating options of real food, and since they literally ban bad ingredients, their food is literally fuel for my energy, strength, and overall wellness every week. But honestly, let me just cut to the chase, man. The best part is that even though it's extremely affordable, I'm teaming up with Factor to give you the deal of a lifetime for 50% off your first Factor box and also free breakfast for a year. I'm not kidding. Head to factor75.com, use code FlixFB50, or click the link in my description. Like I said, that's code FLIXFB50 at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free breakfast for a year. But anyways, back to the NFL, like when a player this season broke a record set by the GOAT. You have to put some respect on Matt Stafford's name, knowing that he surpassed Tom Brady, cause Tom Brady was literally God when he set a record at first in the 2011 season. At that time, he was on a different level when he went on a streak of throwing 27 straight touchdowns without an interception. And even though that record held up for over a decade and seemed unbreakable, this season, Stafford threw not 1, not 10, not even 20, but 27 touchdowns in a row without an interception to tie Brady's record. So with him only needing one more to break it,
Adams, touchdown.
damn, I just don't know what's crazier. The fact that he broke that record with 28 straight, or that he immediately threw interceptions on back-to-back drives right after that. Insane. But alright. Let's get to another broken record that was so crazy, it got its own nickname. See, during a game between the Giants and Broncos, the Broncos started the game terribly, couldn't score a single point, and were losing 19-0 by the start of the fourth quarter. God damn. But that's when everything began to change with a crazy tip touchdown to score their first points.
Dobbins a block to the end zone, deflected, and did Franklin get it on the ricochet? Touchdown, Denver!
Then, after getting the 2-point conversion, they scored another touchdown on a sneak and got the 2-point conversion again. At this point, they were cruising, but they were still down 10 points with less than 5 minutes left, and literally nobody thought the magic would continue. But that's when they got a crucial interception, then not long after, scored again.
Nix, chased by Thibodeau, backpedaling, touchdown, and the Broncos are back in business.
Now, alright, if things couldn't get any crazier than what was happening, with only 2 minutes left, the Broncos did something legendary.
Bowles with the block, Nix going long, and caught Williams.
7-man pressure, and ball's thrown. This is Ingram with the catch. Ingram stays in bounds, and he is free all the way inside the 20. A design quarterback run. Bo inside the 10. Bo inside the 5. Touchdown, Denver! Placement. Kick on the way. It's good!
Oh my god, the team really went from down 19 to not only scoring 33 points in a single quarter to win. Since it also broke the record as the largest comeback in Broncos history, their opponents got clowned when the game was nicknamed the Mile High Meltdown. But was that as embarrassing as what happened to Jalen Hurts? What he was about to do this season had people wanting the NFL to change their rules. Because during a close game between the Eagles and Chargers, Jalen did something nobody's ever even seen before.
Picked off. Left it, and now the ball's out, and Hurts ends up with the ball in his hands. He fumbles.
Oh my, a horrible interception, then a fumble, in a matter of seconds? Fans couldn't believe what they saw. Because doing all that not only had Jalen Hurts become the first player ever with 2 turnovers on the same play, it was so bad that fans wanted the NFL to change their rules.
Should there be a new rule in the NFL that if you turn it over twice in one play, you have to sit out the rest of the game? I've never seen that before. Have you ever seen that before?
No, I think he was the first player to do it.
But a single player creating a bad record is one thing. An entire team this season set one of the most embarrassing records in NFL history. This season, the Jets defense was so trash that opposing quarterbacks threw for thousands of yards and plenty of touchdowns with ease. It was almost as easy as you subscribing to the channel. Just try it. Subscribe. Anyways, all because the Jets defense not only ranked almost last in points, passing yards, and rushing yards given up. Out of every single game the Jets played, their players had some of the worst hands I've ever seen and dropped more interceptions than I can even count. And even after not getting an interception in their final game against a terrible backup, the Jets did something that's never been done before. They became the first team since the NFL started recording interception stats in 1933 to not get a single interception all season long. Not even one? I don't even know how that's possible, but that kinda reminds me of Josh Allen not even getting to 1 Super Bowl. My bad, there was no need for that. So I gotta praise Josh for a second cause he did break one crazy record this season that he stole from his biggest rival. What Josh did this season was legendary cause unless you live under a rock, I'm sure you understand that in the past, Patrick Mahomes always beat Josh in the playoffs and is essentially his daddy, alright? Not only that, he's also had to watch as Mahomes won multiple MVPs and Super Bowl trophies. But over those same years as Josh threw touchdowns like these.
They fake it to Diggs. Allen steps up. There's the shot. Looking deep for Davis. Touchdown!
Ran touchdowns in himself like this.
Josh steps up, and he's going to get the first down. There he goes. No one's going to get him!
And even caught touchdowns.
Behind Cooper, who brought it in. Pitched it back to Allen, who's going to go to the goal line!
He eventually scored so much that he got closer to breaking a legendary record already held by Mahomes, the fastest player to score 300 touchdowns, which he did in only 128 games. So this season, when Josh miraculously came into his 127th career game, needing only 1 more touchdown.
Your center here is going to just push him forward. That'll work. Allen is the in. Touchdown! zone, Buffalo.
That didn't just make him the only player with 300 touchdowns before turning 30. Josh doing it one game faster than Mahomes had him steal one of the craziest records that Mahomes owned. But even those records didn't get either of them guys paid. Unlike when another NFL star breaking a record actually made a fan thousands of dollars. This season, Amon-Ra St. came into a game with 505 career receptions, just a few short of breaking a crazy record set by former star Michael Thomas. And after St. Brown's first, second, third, fourth, and fifth catch of a game, he eventually did this.
Play action. Fired over the middle. Big gain inside the 30-yard line. St. Brown.
That catch wasn't just the 511th of his career, which made him break the record for most receptions by a player through their first 5 seasons. It also gave a fan something valuable.
And you also broke the record for most receptions, through the first 5 career seasons. How's that feel?
Feels good. It's different when you break a team record, I feel like, versus an NFL record. I feel like it just hits a little different. So definitely felt good. I was able to keep the ball. I gave my gloves away, which in the middle of doing it, I wasn't even thinking. And then right when I gave them to the fan, I was like, damn, I just gave my gloves away. But so whoever has my gloves from that game, I would hold on to those. Or you give it back to me if you want, but hold on to those because I probably should have kept them, but it's all good.
He really wanted them back because he knew the record-setting gloves would be worth thousands. But that honestly doesn't deserve as much praise as the record Caleb Williams broke, because it had fans calling him the best player in his team's history. But hold on. Before we get to that and more, there's a dark secret I just need to confess. See, I have not been making my best videos and have been forced to make bad edits, which some of you have definitely been commenting about, due to the No Fun League, NFL, claiming my videos and taking all my revenue even though the content's been transformed. So myself and my hardworking team, we're all damn near on the brink of homelessness from this. But you can save my channel. For literally almost the same price as a Taco Bell taco and half the price of a McDonald's Big Mac, just $2.99, you can become a real part of the Flix gang by becoming a FieldFlix channel member. And I know. You're probably thinking like, why the fuck would I even do that? Well, for the first time ever, I'll be dropping all my videos with the perfect edits. Never before seen NFL content that I'll never drop publicly, give you exclusive channel perks, and if enough of you become members, I'll even drop my heavily anticipated face reveal that literally thousands upon thousands of you have been begging me for. So please, if you love my channel and want way more than ever, you know what to do, because in return, I'll go harder than ever to make FieldFlix better and bigger than ever, all for you. Just become a channel member here today. But anyways, taking a quick look at this list of other quarterbacks, they all had 2 things in common. 1, they played for the Bears, and 2, they were all absolutely garbage. But all of that's the exact opposite of Caleb Williams this season, who made crazy throw after crazy throw, like one that didn't just impress an NFL legend.
An absolutely 10 out of 10 A+ throw.
Caleb racked up so many yards this season that during the final game of the year, one play helped him make history.
It's coming. It's blocked. Williams going end zone. It's caught. Touchdown Bears.
In only his second year in the NFL, this man threw for 3,942 yards to give him the Bears' all-time single-season passing record. So fans couldn't help but talk about him already being the best Bears quarterback ever, and former NFL players agreed.
Caleb Williams is the best Bears quarterback ever. Okay. And I'm saying this in year 2.
Hopefully Caleb stays healthy for a long time. Because what if I told you that devastating injuries caused another team to set a record this season that nobody wants? At first, things were the opposite, when the Colts didn't just start this season on fire by destroying pretty much every team they faced.
Taylor, he'll get it. Geno Smith is on the run at sack for the 3rd time today.
They were playing on such a different level that they even set records like the first team ever to score on their first 10 offensive possessions and the record for averaging the most points per minute with over 1. But as great as the season was going, the Colts set a completely different record after everything came crashing down. First, their star kicker got injured and was sadly diagnosed with a torn ACL and MCL. Then things got worse when the team completely melted down, where they went on a 7-game losing streak while losing even more players. Next was Sauce Gardner, the star they just traded for, who almost instantly injured his calf and was pretty much sidelined for the rest of the season. Then if it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, their quarterback Daniel Jones tried playing through a minor broken leg and unfortunately went down with one of the worst injuries in football, a season-ending Achilles tear. After that, the Colts kept losing to eventually finish the season 8-9 and set one of the worst records in NFL history. They became the first team in 30 years to start 8-2 and still miss the playoffs. worse. But as bad as that was, another NFL record set this season was even worse. Cause a NFL player set a record so ridiculous, it got him kicked off his team. This is Desmond Watson, a massive player that the Buccaneers not only signed this season, they saw his weight was already not okay and told him he needed to lose weight in order to play. Cause even though there's been absolutely humongous players in the NFL in the past, God damn, even the heaviest player in history at 410 pounds couldn't even compare to Watson this season, who weighed in at a ridiculous 464 pounds. He was officially the fattest player of all time, and that NFL record was something that Watson must have wanted, because he refused to lose the weight and ended up missing the weight goals that his team set for him so many times that he was eventually released and hasn't been signed to a new team since.